I think I'm live, right? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Let's go live on TikTok as well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me when you come on. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Let me know if you can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me. Happy Friday to you all. It's been an interesting week. I hope you're all doing well. I hope your week was good. I hope you're well. And I hope your week was good as well. I'm doing okay. I'm just fine. I've had a long week with the elections, the outcome of the elections, and all that good stuff. So let me know where you're watching me from. I am in the DMV area. My name is Akosia Ousia Ousu Banahini. Just call me Akosia Banahini. Happy Friday. How are you doing? How was your week? I would love to know how you're doing. I would love to know how your week has been so far. How you took the results of the election, the outcome of the election. Oh, you're doing well. Great. I'm also doing okay. I'm just fine. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm just okay. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday, Prince. How are you doing? Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay. So we are going to have a Q&A session. We're going to chit chat. Happy Friday to you all. Let me know. I know. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. Oh, very clear. Thank you for letting me know. Where are you watching me from? You're welcome, Prince. Where are you watching me from? Let me know where you're watching me from. And please give our TikTok page a follow so I can have everything on one screen. Because I still have to move around a little bit. So where you what? I think you will not recognize me, cry. Oh, do I know you? Social media love. That's your name on TikTok. That's interesting. You have an interesting name. Please remind me. Maybe I'll remember. I have a good memory, so I may remember you. Happy Friday. How's your week? How are you doing today? How has the week been for you? We are going to have, Washington State. I think you should tell me your name than your state. We can hear you clearly. Thank you. Thank you so much. Why do I suspect that is Erika Champo? Good day, sis. Thank you for the session. Good day, my dear. How are you doing? Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining. Let me know where you are watching me from. And possibly let me know your name if you don't mind. I don't mind. My name is Akosia. Oh, you're watching from Louisiana. So cool. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. See, I just love TikTok. They interact with me. They make me know they are here. As for Facebook and Instagram, they're a bit bushy, but that's fine. You're watching from Ohio. Nice. Watching from Maryland. We have to meet up. The one watching from Maryland. Happy Friday, Penelope from Arkansas. We can hear you. Oh, Penelope. Is it a Penelope that I know? Nice to hear your name. I have a very good friend from, she's more of a sister from Sunyani. Her name is Penelope, so I don't know whether she's the one. Watching from Bronx, New York. That's nice. I've lived in Bronx before. Oh, okay. I know you. Social media love. I think I know who you are. Bronx, New York Atlanta. Nice. I've lived in Atlanta before. I'm the typical immigrant. I've lived almost everywhere. So I understand. I do understand the hassle that comes with being an immigrant. So we are going to have a live Q&A session. You should start dropping your questions. How has your week been? Watching from Ghana. Your mate from that is, hey, Bernard. Well, we're in America, so we say Bernard. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm also doing well. My mate from that is big ups. I hope you're doing well. You should show your face. Oh, from Queens. That's nice. Very, very nice. I'm so excited to know where you're all watching me from. Let's get interactive. Please, you can start. Oh, New York, Queens. That's nice. That's nice. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, what's your take on the new policy to be instituted by the new president? That's like a very big welcome to me. I will answer that question. I'll answer that question for sure. Definitely. I know we'll talk about President Trump. We will definitely talk about President Trump and his policies. How are you all feeling about the outcome of the elections? I would love to know your thoughts. Okay, I'd love to know your thoughts on the outcome of the elections. How are you feeling? How are you taking it? I won my asylum case last year. Will the new administration slow the green card process? That's a very good question. So, when President Trump was in power during his first term, he made it extremely difficult for asylum seekers to prove credible fear, and he's going to do the same thing. So, if you have actually won your asylum case, you should be good. That's actually a good thing for you. My take, you don't want to know my take, Samuel. Samuel, I don't think you're ready to know my take. Okay, so we least expected him to win. We were surprised. I know. I'm yet to meet anyone that said I voted for President Trump. Almost everybody says they didn't vote for him, but he won, right? So I don't know how. Okay, I think we'll be heading towards the right direction economic wise. Probably, possibly. That I believe. But with the policies that he had, research says that the economy was going to crash, but we wait and see. We wait and see. Honestly, it took a twist turn, but it is what it is. I am with you. It is what it is. I mean, what can we do at this point, right? There's nothing much we can do. So I agree with you. It is what it is. I've not been myself since the proclamation of the results. Oh, let me tell you a funny story. And I told my mom this morning. So when I was up all night watching the elections and then the results trickle in, I'll tell you that I was up all night. I didn't have a wink. And at a point when I realized that, this is actually happening. He's winning. I was in denial a bit, but eventually I made peace with it. And since then, I have been up 2 a.m. every single day. I woke up this morning at 2, and then the first thing that I said to myself was, oh my God, Donald Trump won, right? So I am with you. But I have to be myself to be able to serve all of you. So I'm taking it in. Are you reading from YouTube too? I don't have any questions from YouTube yet, Bernard. But yes, I'll be reading from YouTube as well if any questions come in, because I have access to the YouTube as well. He has a track record that we can judge him by. I agree, Samuel. I agree. He did a lot when he came to office during the first term. And so we have the blueprint. We know exactly what he's going to do. We know exactly what he's going to do. And nothing has changed. He's been big on everything. He's been very vocal about his immigration policies, the border. He's actually saying he's going to denaturalize some U.S. citizens. But I think we all have to breathe because there are checks and balances. He cannot just get up and say, I'm going to do this. And he can't snap his finger and make it happen like that. So, yes, I do VAWA. Abranti, I do VAWA cases as well. I was granted protection. Should I be worried about his threats? Please don't be worried about his threats. Don't be worried. So there are checks and balances in place. He cannot just snap his fingers and make things happen. He can do certain things, but he can just snap his fingers and then things will just happen. So please breathe. Breathe. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. But it's also a good time to file your immigration petitions. You know, I was talking to a client today and I said that no matter what he does, no matter what President Trump does, marriage-based green card, hint, hint, is going nowhere. Okay? No matter what he does, marriage-based green card is going nowhere. So we have something to fall back on, okay, at some point. But make sure that the marriage you're getting in is bona fide. You intend to establish a life with the person you're claiming to be married to, so you don't get in trouble. Okay, so you're not charged for immigration fraud. So please, please, please be on the lookout for that. Okay, Jeff, I came on B2, overstayed for 6 years. What is the best path for me to get a green card? Your best path is to get married to your fiancé. I know you have a fiancé. I know you have a girlfriend. That's your best path, okay? Because even for the employment-based visa, you have 140 days after your stay here has expired. So if you have been here, Jeff, for 6 years, your best bet is the marriage-based green card, okay? I just received my work permit and SSN. Should I be worried? Please don't be worried. Please don't be worried. If you just received your work permit and your social security number, that is a good thing. So just keep your fingers crossed and wait for your green card to come through. That is actually a good thing. How do I contact you out here? I can be reached at 703-705-9905. Can any of my team members please put the booking link in there and then the phone number and email address as well? Please do that. If any of my team members are on, please put it there for me. Honestly, I predicted his win after he was allowed to run for president despite he being a felon. I know. He actually, so everything he did played out before our eyes. And the courtroom, he said that the courtroom is actually his campaign grounds. So he actually campaigned in the courtroom. And the outcome, I mean, we just have to accept it, right? We just have to accept it, okay? So if an international student work off campus and marry citizens, what would they do to them when filing? Nobody will do anything to you. So long as your marriage is bona fide and you can prove that you entered into the marriage to establish a life together, remember that you need certain pieces of evidence to show that your marriage is bona fide. It's extremely important. Okay, it's extremely important. How should I take it before? Okay, let's see. How do I get a response from the USCIS since I got an approval letter as far back as May 2012? Please give my office a call. Bernard, give my office a call, 703-705-9905. We can assist you. What's the cost to file for my mom? She's on a visiting visa here. You're a US citizen. So the filing fees for the underlying petition is $675. The adjustment of status is $1,440. Okay, and then the work authorization, which is the form I-765, is $260. So that's the cost. You have to do the math. $675, $1,440, $260, put it together, and that is your filing fees. All right, let's see. A felon is not allowed to vote. I know, we have to deal with the 14th Amendment. We have to discuss that in a different session. I agree. I have that concern too. How long should it take? Before to file papers after marriage? That's a very good question, Jeff. I'm going to answer that in a second. Let me take some questions here on TikTok. It's been 8 months now and I didn't receive my EAD yet. Married babe. Should I call the USCIS? Please do. Did you file by yourself? Was it like a self-petition or you got did an attorney assist you? If your attorney assisted you, then your attorney probably submitted a G28 or had a G28 on file. let your attorney contact the USCIS. If you did it by yourself, please contact the USCIS. 8 months is a long time. It was when President Trump was in power that EAD took that long. It's not supposed to take that long for marriage-based green card. So please call them. Please call them. My asylum was granted on August 26, 2024. Can I file for a green card before new policy? Yes, please do. Please do. I was told to go to immigration and I'm a US citizen. Have you seen situations like this before? I don't think I understand your question. Can you please clarify so I can answer that for you? Okay, it looks like there's so many questions. I have to read from the top. Okay, let me take some questions. Please keep your questions coming on TikTok. Let me take some questions on YouTube and Facebook as well. How long should it take before you file the papers after marriage? You mean you file the papers after marriage? So there's no law that gives a specific time to submit your immigration benefits when you get married. There's no law that gives a particular time. But what you want to bear in mind is that you need to submit certain pieces of evidence to establish that you're in a bona fide marriage. Evidence like a lease agreement, joint bank statement, taxes, pictures, affidavit, many pieces of evidence. Because of that, it's always recommended that you wait for some time and make sure that you put those pieces of evidence together. So the law does not state that, oh, when you get married today, wait for 1 year, wait for 2 years, wait for 3 months. The law does not give a timeline for when you can submit your marriage-based petition, but it's very important that you put some pieces of evidence together before you submit it so that you can establish that you're in a bona fide marriage. So I hope I answered your question, Jeff. All right, let's take some questions. There are lots of questions on TikTok. So let me swipe down and then take the question so I don't miss anybody's questions. Okay. Little Lovelies, you have a nice name. I think I answered your questions. Please don't be worried. Please don't be worried. You can go ahead and are interviews being waived? Interviews are being waived. Interviews are being waived. So what I have noticed is that when you submit everything to the USCIS, including the medicals, because of the backlog that they have, if everything looks good, they pick your filing packet, check everything looks good, then there's no need to invite you to an interview. Another thing that I have noticed is that you want to put together a statement or a narrative showing how you met, when you met the person, and all that good stuff. That is basically the questions that you're going to be asked in an interview. But interviews are being waived. The whole of this year, none of my clients have attended a marriage-based green card interview. All the interviews have been waived. Work authorization comes and then the green card comes out. So none of my clients have attended a marriage-based green card interview. So yes, interviews are being waived. Okay, I think we provided you our contacts, right? Can any member of my team please put my contact and then the booking link there? I'm traveling abroad for 3 weeks and have my green card. Do I have to worry about coming back? Please don't worry about coming back. Please feel free, travel, have fun, and then come back. Just make sure you are safe. But it should be fine. If you have a green card, you should be able to freely travel in and out. How about asylum seekers? Are they safe after the application is being accepted? So when President Trump was in office during the first term, he made it extremely difficult for asylum seekers to prove credible fear. So if you have your petition pending, just keep your fingers crossed. That's all I can say. Keep your fingers crossed, especially if a decision has not been made yet, you haven't been called for an interview yet. Keep your fingers crossed, and then let's see. I wouldn't say be afraid, but just keep your fingers crossed. Just keep your fingers crossed. Sit tight. You'll be invited for an interview. But yeah, when he was in power during the first term, he made it extremely difficult to prove credible fear, and he's going to do the same. He said it that he's going to do the same thing. You know, he has issues with us. I don't want to say he has issues, but he does with immigrants. So I think you'll be okay. Just keep your fingers crossed. If an international student, okay, I've answered that question. Interviews are being waived. I've answered that. What is the cost to file for your mom? I've answered that. Okay. Okay. So if your mom is visiting you, a U.S. citizen, do nothing. I have to say this. So if your immediate family comes into the U.S. on a B1, B2, remember that the intent is not to be here. And so do nothing for the first 90 days. It's extremely important that you do nothing for the first 90 days. Don't submit a petition for someone who has a B1, B2 visa, someone who entered the United States on a B1, B2 visa. Do nothing for 90 days. If you file for an immigration benefit for anyone that entered the US on a B1, B2, the intent is not to be here. You can be charged for immigration fraud. So do nothing for the first 90 days. And then by then, you would have established the intent to remain in the US. So then you can file for your immigration benefit. So please do nothing. If your mom is here on a B1, B2, just vesting you, please do nothing for the first 90 days to avoid being charged for immigration fraud, which could lead to deportation, potentially. So please do nothing for the first 90 days, okay? I think people are overthinking his whole proclamation by him. He has people to console him. Samuel, I agree, but I think people feel the way they feel because he has a track record. We have a blueprint of what he did, right? We have a blueprint of what he did. And so that's why people are a bit nervous. And I'll tell you this, his former policy advisor said that, so that is why you said he has people to console him. I totally agree. But his former policy advisor has come out recently, just I think yesterday or 2 days ago, came out to say that President Trump's priority is immigration. And they intend to remove or deport at least 11 million immigrants. I don't know how many immigrants there are here, but that is what he intends to do. And that is someone who advises him. So I guess that is why people feel the way they do. And if you followed immigration during his term in office, you know that it was a mess. So that is why people are a bit nervous about his comeback. What about when you are expecting your SSN and work permit in 3 months' time? Please don't be worried. If you're expecting it in 3 months' time, please don't be worried. You'll be fine. You will be okay. You will be fine. Okay, I've answered the cause, the felon. A felon is not allowed to vote. Yep, very absurd. I agree. I totally agree with you. I'm with you. I'm actually with you. I'm actually with you. Lots of questions on TikTok. Do you think I should file my marriage document? Please do. I don't know when you got married, but if you're able to establish that you entered into the marriage with the purpose of establishing life together, meaning that you entered into the marriage on good faith, and you intend to establish a life together, please go ahead and file your marriage-based green card. Like I keep saying, no matter what it is, marriage-based green card will go nowhere. Okay, that's a hint. But make sure that your marriage is bona fide and you can prove that you entered into a bona fide marriage. Okay? Marriage-based is going nowhere. I have a question for you. I was flagged and racially profiled while leaving a cruise in Miami. Give my office a call. You have an interesting name, African Papi. You guys have interesting names. Please give my office a call, 703-705-9905. So I'm going to tell you a story about racial profiling that occurred in 2018 when President Trump was in office. I'll tell you that story before we log off for the day. I'm traveling. Okay, yeah. So I answered this question. I was told to go to immigration, and I'm a US citizen. Have you seen situations like that? I don't know why they're asking you to go to immigration if you're a US citizen. So you want to understand why. And please do not allow any immigration officer into your home. When an immigration officer knocks at your door, you have every right to say, I'm not going to let you enter. You are under no obligation to let an immigration officer enter your room, even if you have a petition pending, because chances are they are trying to make entry to ascertain whether you're really truly living with the person you claim to be living with. And so if an officer knocks at your door and says, I'm from immigration office, we're here to investigate, to let the officer know that I'm not going to allow you to enter, and he cannot arrest you. So you're under no obligation to allow any officer, any immigration officer to enter into your home to inspect. I have friends that did that, and now it's a hot mess. If an officer knocks at your door, tell the officer that I am under no obligation to let you enter my home, and I would not let you enter my home. He cannot force you. If he forces you, all the better. We have a case against him. Okay? But don't let them enter your home. And so, African Pappy, if you're being asked as a US citizen to come to immigration, you want to find out why and possibly get an attorney. What about if you're expecting your SSN? Okay, I did answer that. I did. Okay, let me take some questions here. Can international students involved in unauthorized employment still adjust status? Facebook user, I want you to give me a call. 703-705-9905. So if you have filed taxes, you have a problem. If you have filed taxes, you do have a problem. You do have a problem if you have filed taxes as an international student. If you have worked full-time, you know you're not supposed to work full-time. So if you have worked full-time and you have filed taxes, we need to talk. Give my office a call. Please give my office a call. Okay. Okay. I'm married. You already know they're just looking for Thank you, Cecilia. They already know they're just looking for confirmation. So please don't confirm it. Don't let them enter your home. Don't allow immigration officers to enter your home. You're setting yourself up for a bigger trouble. She girl, please let us finish this live session and then we can talk. Okay. I've seen your message that you're trying to reach out. So let us talk after the live session. Do you think N600 will be affected? It depends. It depends. Okay. Now is a good time to apply for your immigration benefits. Now is a good time to apply for your US citizenship. It's a good time to apply for all your immigration benefits. Please do not wait. Please do not wait. You're welcome. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Do you do consulting for Canadian immigration as well? No, I do not, but I have a partner in Canada that I can connect you to help you. Please file your immigration, your marriage-based document. Please go ahead and file it. How long is it best to stay in US on a B1, B2? So even if you have a multiple visa, a multiple entry, when you enter the United States on a B1, B2, you're mostly given 6 months to remain here. So that is how long you can stay here. Check your I-94 for your dates, your duration of stay, but it's mostly 6 months on a B1, B2. Okay, how about if you have your credible fear interview already and they found positive fear? Okay, I guess your question is whether if you've been able to establish credible fear, then it means at this point you're just waiting for a decision to be made, right? So you are good. Can a brother who is a citizen file for a sister under B1, B2? Your brother can file for you, but that category takes a very long time. As of this year, it's going to take you about 24 years to get through with that if your sibling is filing for you. So you want to be on the lookout for that. You think the N400 will be affected? Julian, no, it won't be affected, but it depends. The best answer to give you is that it depends, because nobody knows what President Trump is going to do. But now is a good time to file all your immigration benefits. Can I give military PIP to parents with... Okay, so let me tell you the news and the ruling that has been made for the PIP, for the one who is asking for the parole in place program. So the parole in place program has been adjudged to be illegal. So a Texas district federal judge ruled that the PIP program is illegal. So the USCIS is no longer accepting petitions. They are no longer processing petitions. And today a video was posted on our social media pages about the ruling. Okay, so PIP, please forget it. It was blocked. And as of yesterday, a decision came out that it cannot go forward. I have a client in Missouri who had been scheduled for a biometrics under the PIP. Today she decided to, today was her biometrics day. She went in there and the USCIS says that they are not processing biometrics for the PIP because they are no longer accepting petitions for the PIP, because as of yesterday, the federal judge that sat on the case says that the PIP is illegal, and so it's no longer being processed. So no, you cannot do that for your parents. Okay, I'm very sorry to hear that. So if you came through the border and you got married to a US citizen, that is okay. It's okay if you came through the border, you got married to a US citizen. But what that means is that you were not admitted. You were not admitted to the United States, meaning you didn't get a visa, you didn't sit on a plane, you were not inspected, you didn't enter the United States in a legal way. So because you came through the border, if you get married to a US citizen, that is fine, but you have to file a waiver, go back to your home country, get a visa, and then come back to the United States. So if you came through the border, that is what you have to do. Okay, that's what you have to do if you came through the border. You get married to a US citizen, that is okay, but you have to file for a waiver, wait for the waiver to be approved, and then exit the country. And then wait for a visa to be available for you, attend an interview, get a passport, let it be stamped with a visa, and then come into the United States to be admitted before you can adjust your status. That's what you have to do if you came through the border and you got married to a US citizen. All right. Please, can you pin the information? If any member of my team is with me here, please pin our information on Facebook. Someone is asking for it. Thank you. They already know, they're just waiting for confirmation. Yes. Okay, I'm married for 9 years now. I'm here 3 years now. I have my permanent green card, but we are on divorce. That's fine. That's okay. Let the USCIS know that. So if you got married to a US citizen and you've been married for 3 years and you're divorced, technically you should be filing for your US citizenship. That's what you should be doing. If you've been married to a US citizen for 3 years, you have to file for your naturalization to become a US citizen. You don't have to wait. So if you're divorced, that's fine. Okay, I think I mentioned the fee for the marriage-based filing. I-130 is $675. I-485 is $1,440, and then the work authorization from I-765 is $260. That is your filing fees. Okay, I'm still taking questions. Can a green card holder marry someone that has been here in the US for... Yes, so you can get married to a green card holder, you can get married to a US citizen. There are additional steps when it comes to getting married to a green card holder. You have to wait for the priority date to be current. So if you get married to a US citizen, you can immediately adjust your status. Okay, you can also file concurrently. If you get married to a green card holder, you have to wait for your priority date to become current. What if you came as a diplomat and your visa expired? What is your best option? If you have a girlfriend or if you have a boyfriend, please get married. Will Trump denaturalize naturalized citizens? Yes, that's what he says. That's what he says. But here's the thing, and I've said this to many people today. There are checks and balances in place. The laws work in the United States. President Trump cannot snap his fingers and begin to denaturalize. Today, I was talking to my mom and I said that, well, I guess she's the only one going to be left here because if President Trump decides to denaturalize naturalized citizens, you can imagine the mess that is going to happen in the country. And he has to set some funds aside to do that. I don't know if America has enough resources to, build new detention centers to accommodate the number of people that President Trump is looking to remove or deport and also denaturalize naturalized citizens. It doesn't work that way. So please, you have to breathe. I need you to breathe. The laws work. The laws work. His main problem is those that came through the border, the undocumented immigrants that came through the border. He believes they pose a threat to the United States. Not all of them, really, not all of them. So please breathe. It's not that bad. I mean, he can do some things, but he cannot do everything. But yes, he said he's going to denaturalize naturalized citizens. He said that. He says many things, really. He says many things. He does say many things. So, will an F1 student lose status for working even after marrying a US citizen? So, if you are an F1 student and then you get married to a US citizen, you should be fine. You should be fine, really. Just put documents together, make sure that you're entering into that marriage to establish a life together. Make sure that you can prove that you're in a bona fide marriage, it's a good faith marriage, and then just submit your petition to the USCIS, and you will be fine. Don't marry, don't have lots of bona fide evidence. How soon can you file? How long have you been in the country? Because that will change a lot. So if you got into the country and you get married to a US citizen in 3 months and you decide to file, the best document you can give them is a lease agreement if your partner has a lease, right? And then affidavit. Basically, people attesting to the fact that they know you're married. You cannot submit tax records. You cannot submit joint tax filing because you don't even have a social security. So it's okay that you don't have enough evidence to submit to the USCIS after you get married to a US citizen. Okay, but you also need an attorney that understands, an attorney that has been there to help you. So please give my office a call, 703-705-9905. Okay, the filing fee for green card again is $1,440. That's for the adjustment of status, right? Can your app use? I don't understand your question. I don't understand. Can your app use in the new administration? Please clarify your question so that I can answer that for you. Thank you. Is it safe to travel with advanced parole? So listen, immigration benefits purely discretionary. Nobody has a right to immigration benefits. So if you receive I tell my clients when I file for them and then they get the advanced parole, I tell them that the decision is on you. The CBP officer can decide to not let you enter. We can fight, for them to eventually let you come in, but that may not happen in that moment. And so if you can wait, please do. But by all means, I also have clients that have traveled with the advanced parole. They went out safely, they came back safely. So that is going to be your call. That is a decision. I like my clients to make so who is trying to join the live session? Decline. So I always love for my clients to make decisions from informed place, So I tell them all there is, and then the decision is with you. So if I file for an advanced parole for you, and then you receive it, I've had clients that have traveled with it, they've come back safe. I haven't had any clients travel out of the country with an advanced parole and was unable to come back. But I have heard many people say that they have experienced that. I haven't had any clients experience that. So I definitely share everything with my clients so that they make the decision from an informed place. Okay? Okay. I applied for a work permit, but it's not coming back. Why? Why? What should be? Okay. So what you're asking, Lady Vera, is that you have filed for a work permit, but you haven't received it. Please follow up with the USCIS. If you have a G28 attorney on record, please have your attorney follow up on that for you. Okay. So you said I did not answer a question. What is the question? Please, if I didn't answer your question, please prompt me. There are lots of questions. I'm trying to get through all of them. So if you apply for asylum for abuse that happened back in your home, but not in America with evidence, I don't understand. I don't understand your question. American shopping platform, please clarify your question so that I can help you. My school has CPT full time. No, Clinton, I'm not saying don't file your taxes. I'm saying that if you're a student, you know that your work authorization comes with a number of hours that you can work as a student. So if you're a student, you have a certain number of hours that you should work. So your W-2 cannot reflect that you worked more than the hours you were supposed to work. That is a recipe for disaster. So if you're a student and you're supposed to work 25 hours in a week, make sure that your W-2 reflects 24 hours in a week. With that, you can file taxes. But if your W-2 reflects that you worked 80 hours a week, that's a problem. So I'm not saying don't file your taxes. Please file your taxes. If you don't file your taxes and eventually you're trying to become a US citizen, you're going to be in trouble. So please file your taxes. What can speed your process for I-130? Is that what you're asking? Ajua Grace, are you asking whether you can expedite your I-130? I-130 cannot be expedited. If that's your question, if not, please clarify so I can understand you. What happens if being separated since marriage and you want a divorce while application is pending? If you submit your application, things happen in marriages, and I tell my clients I think of immigration as real life issue. Things happen in relationships, things happen in marriages. So I know people that get married and in 2 months they're divorcing, and that's fine. So if you get married and then you submit a petition based on the marriage and anything changes, you just have to update the USCIS. That's all. It's very simple. You don't have to stay married because you have a petition pending and go through the abuse. No law says you should stay married. But if you're filing for immigration benefits based on your marriage base, then please, it's very important that you do update the USCIS that you're no longer married. It's very important that you do. So there's no basis for the American shopping platform. I really want you to clarify your question so that I can answer it for you. The asylum question you're asking, please clarify that so I can you can adjust your status when you have a petition pending. If the underlying petition is denied and you have paid for the adjustment of status, you don't get a refund. You can refile, but you don't get a refund. So by all means, you can file for an adjustment of status when your underlying petition is pending. Can you explain the immigrant spouse program suspended by the federal judge? Yes, I can. So earlier this year? In August, it was launched. The Biden administration launched what it called the PIP, Parole in Place program, to help certain undocumented immigrants in the United States to get a green card. A few days after the program was launched, some, and trust me, it was 16 Republican-led states that filed a suit to stop the program. And so the program was blocked for some time, and then trial began on November 5th. And so the judge made a decision yesterday that the program is illegal. And so the USCIS should not process the parole in place program. And it was basically for some undocumented immigrants that have been here for a while. And so that is that. Okay. I have a deportation case, but I married a US citizen. I have 4 kids, but was denied naturalization. What was the basis for the denial? Because the basis of the denial will help us know how to approach it. So please give my office a call. Please give my office a call. Please give my office a call. I'll pick a question on Facebook. A Facebook user says, let me pick this question. I'll be back on TikTok. When is the right time to apply for EB2 NIW? I'll be graduating in May 2025 for my master's degree program. Please file it now. Please submit your EB2 petition now, because the EB2 priority date is not always current, meaning that after you get an approval, it's going to take you a while for you to adjust your status to get a green card. And so if you're here in the United States, you might as well go ahead and submit it. And that's what I tell my clients. If you come in as a student and you do qualify, let us submit your EB2 for you as soon as possible. Chances are by the time that you are out of school, your priority date becomes current, and then you can file for your green card. So Facebook user, I cannot see your name, but the time to file for your EB2 NIW is now. Okay, got married to my US citizen wife, don't have lots of bona fide evidence. Okay, I think I answered that. What is the processing time for green card RFE? So ideally, when you submit the response to an RFE, it shouldn't take more than a month, but lately it does. Then again, a lawyer's favorite answer, it depends. It depends on the backlog that the USCIS officer has. Okay, so depending on the backlog, it can take some time. I want to invite a friend from Ethiopia. How do you go about it? Kehinde, Roland, please give my office a call, 703-705-9905. 703-705-9905. That's the number. I'm a citizen. My husband has removal deportation. What can I do to protect him? So if this person is your husband, then you're married, right? Have you filed for him? Because you should be able to file for the cancellation of removal. But then there are other things to prove. If you're a US citizen and you are married, give my office a call. Please give my office a call, 703-705-9905. Okay. Denaturalization, I feel you. I totally understand. When I saw it, I told my mom, oh, mommy, everybody's going to leave America if they decide to denaturalize or naturalize US citizens. And we had a good laugh. But like I keep saying, he cannot do everything. I mean, he has the power, but he cannot do everything. There are checks and balances in place. President Trump cannot come in today and then say that I'm denaturalizing everybody. He needs to get resources. He needs to mobilize people. It's going to take a while. But I can understand because we know his blueprints. We know what he has done before during his first term. So it can be a bit scary, but please don't be scared. How long does I-130 take to be approved? It depends. It depends. Erika Champon, how are you doing? Good to see you. Feeling much. Trump coming to power. Will I-130 be affected? I-130 will not be affected if you can prove that you are in a bona fide marriage. So that is it. You have to prove, you should be able to demonstrate that you are in a bona fide marriage. That is the most important thing. Okay. You don't have to be afraid. So long as you can prove, then you're good to go. Oh, it's been 100 days after you submitted your RFE. That's not right. Please give my office a call, 703-705-9905. If you're a US citizen, you have a son, please, you can give my office a call, 703. Let us help you bring your son to the United States. 703-705-9905. When you're married to a US citizen, how long does it take to get a green card? It depends on the backlog that the USCIS have. It depends on the backlog. I have seen green cards come in as fast as 4 months. I've seen some come in 3 months. I've seen some coming in 6 months and some over a year. So it all depends. It all depends. It all depends. Okay, my husband filed for me, but I filed a VAWA and asked USCIS to hold my I-485. Okay, your question, your name is misunderstood and your question is interesting. I don't understand. Please help me understand. Clarify your question. That you filed for your husband, but you also filed for VAWA. Your husband filed for you, but you filed for VAWA and asked the USCIS to hold your I-485. I don't understand. Please make it clear so that I can. Yes, I do T visa, SIJs. I do that as well. Please give my office a call, 703-705-9905. Okay, so what do you do if your file is denied? We have to refile. Please give my office a call, 703-705-9905. Yes, I do T visa. Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is not a question, that's a compliment. Thank you. I'm a citizen. How long does it take to bring your husband here? So if you're a citizen and your spouse is out of the country, your petition will go through 3 phases. The phase 1 is to establish the relationship you have with your spouse, and that is with the USCIS. When that is approved, then it goes to the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center is going to collect additional documents from you and then process the visa. Within that time, after the approval, you can also file for the National Visa Center is going to process the petition, collect additional information, and when the visa becomes available, your spouse will be invited to attend an interview, get a visa, which is going to be phase 2. And then when your spouse comes into the United States, he or she will go through phase 3, which is the adjustment of status. So you cannot get a green card if you're abroad. You have to be present in the United States to get the visa, and it takes a while. Family-based green cards or family-based visas has a huge backlog. I have clients abroad whose petition have been pending for 3 years, some 2 years. So if the approval comes, and the trick is that it takes almost the same duration of time to process the National Visa Center part. It takes the same number of time like it does even if you file for the fiancé visa for your spouse to come into the country. So you don't have to spend money doing both. Just file the I-130, get the approval, go through the National Visa Center, which is the consular processing. That is what it's called, consular processing or immigrant visa processing. Get a visa, come into the United States and adjust your status. Okay? Fatfall, you have an interesting name. So I hope I answered your question. I hope I did answer your question. Okay, quick question. I have filed I-130. I'm a citizen. My husband is in removal proceedings. Shall I file I-485? If your husband is in removal proceedings, meaning that your husband is in court, is in immigration court, right? What is the status of the case in immigration court. It is at that point that I can let you know whether you can file for what defense are you filing for the removal proceedings. So based on that, I'll be able to advise you on whether you can file for the adjustment of status or not. What about employment-sponsored visa? Okay, I think I missed some questions. Oh, Eric, you're doing a great job. Oh, okay, Meg. Our office is in Virginia. Our office is in Virginia, but immigration is federal, so I have clients across all 50 states and abroad. Okay, so give my office a call, 703-705-9905. Okay. What of your child? I don't understand what of your child. Okay, Ishmael says, can a person on a pending asylum who married a US citizen qualify for a green card? What is the status of your asylum? What is the status of your asylum? Please let me know, Ishmael. What about employment-sponsored visas? What about it? Can you please make your question clear so I can answer you? Okay, hi there. I got my green card last month, but incorrect my birthday. The USCIS made a mistake. Please contact them. They can fix it. They have to fix it. Okay, if you don't fix it now, and then after 2 years you decide to renew your green card, and then in submitting the petition, you put the correct date of birth without getting them to amend or correct the one they put on your green card, they can charge you for immigration fraud. So please contact them. Okay, again, our office is located in Virginia. Our office is in Springfield, Virginia. Immigration is federal law, so we have clients across 50 states, so we can assist you. We can serve as your attorneys. Should I wait to be a citizen to file for my spouse or file now as a green card holder? You can file now as a green card holder, except that if your spouse is, as a green card holder, you would have to wait for your priority date to become current. So maybe you want to wait to become a US citizen so that once you file the I-130 and it's approved, you can file the I-130 and I-485 concurrently. So please do it as a citizen. If you want to do it now, we just have to wait for your priority dates to become current to adjust your status. And what is the cost to start the employment sponsorship? It depends. So I won't be able to tell you the cost because some of the employment-based visas can be self-petitioned. Meaning that you don't need an employer. You can petition for yourself. The cost of that is different. And if you have an employer, the cost of that is completely different. So if you do have an employer, then you have to, of course, get a job offer and undergo the labor certification process. If you're petitioning for yourself under the EB1 and the EB2 national interest waiver option, then you don't need an employer and the cost varies. So I won't be able to give you a definite answer on the cost for employment sponsorship, especially because I don't know which path you're trying to go. So sometimes a senator can help you. A senator can definitely do help you. But if you did not, if you were not admitted into the US, meaning you did not sit on a plane, you did not get a visa in your passport, sit on a plane, and then come into the United States legally, you have to, and you have an I-130 approved, you have to go back home. With that, your senator cannot help you. You have to go back home, wait for your priority date to become current, get a visa, and be admitted into the United States before you can adjust your status. So I am sorry that, what is happening here? Draw the puzzle. Okay, I'm not sure what is going on TikTok, but let's see. can self-petition for EB2 or EB1? Yourself. Yourself. Self-petition is you. So you're using your own academic credentials, you're using your own work experience to petition for yourself. That is a self-petition. You don't need an employer for that. You don't need an. So let me take some questions on, and it's 6 o'clock already, so we may have to end the live stream soon. An F1 who fell out of status but married to a US citizen can get a green card. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Facebook user, definitely you can. Yes, you can. What other forms do you need for I-130? I-130 is the only form you need to establish the relationship you have with whoever you're filing for, whether your spouse, your sibling, or your parent. So it's just the I-130 form that you need. Can employer petition for you if you have overstayed? It depends on the number of days or months you have overstayed. So you have 140 days. If you cannot overstay 140 days and undergo the employment-based visa. So it depends on the number of days you have overstayed for an employer to sponsor you. Can you help in the process of getting interview dates in Ghana? I have an affiliate company and they can help you. Give my office a call, 703-705-9905. Do you think now Trump has won, the cases will be stalled? So when President Trump was in office during his first term, what I noticed was that work authorization, now it takes, at the time, it would take almost a year for you to get your work authorization. Now it takes only a few months. So now that he's coming back to the White House, if we look at his blueprint, it means it's going to be the same. And I cannot say we should give him the benefits of the doubt, but maybe we should give him the benefits of the doubt to see what is going to happen. Are there any more questions? After processing. So I think it will be very good if you ask all your question in one sentence, because there are lots of questions trickling in. So if you ask a question and then if you type it in parts, it may get buried and I won't be able to answer because I won't understand. Okay, so you said you've asked your question several times. I'm sorry. I guess it gets buried. So if you ask your question, please put it in one line so that I can get it. So if you can please ask your question again. I'm sorry if I have missed your question. It's not intentional. It's not intentional. I apologize. How long does it take for a US citizen petition for adult child who is over 21? It's good you said adult child because 21 and above, that person does not qualify as a child and it takes a while. It all depends on the backlog. It all depends on the backlog. I won't be able to say it's going to take 4 months, it's going to take 6 months. No attorney can say that. We can only give you an estimate, but it all depends on the backlog. Okay, Bernard, I would give you an answer to your question shortly. I have a green card because I entered after 18. Can I get citizenship before 5 years? So if you got your green card through marriage based, you can become a US citizen in 3 years. If you did not, you have to have your green card for 5 years to become a US citizen. So why do I think the I-601 process is being delayed? It's just a backlog. They have lots of backlog. It's not intentional. It's not as though they have received it and thrown it away. It's the backlog. Okay, sorry. After I-130 is processing, what other document is needed? So after you have established a relationship you have with whoever you're filing for, the beneficiary, if it's your husband, Then with approval, you have to file for the adjustment of status. And that is when you also have to prove that you are actually married, you cohabit. So the lease, you have commingling of funds, that is your joint bank statement and tax records. You have friends and family who can testify that you are actually married. So that's where your affidavit comes in and many others. Okay. I'm sorry I missed your question. Thank you for being patient and asking again. What are the other options to expedite? Humanitarian ground. So if you're really sick, you need to come to the US for medical checkups or any medical procedure, humanitarian grounds, you can use that to expedite it. But sometimes they will just deny it. Okay, so I don't see any more questions. Filing for parents. What's the time frame? If your parents is here in the US, anytime between 4 months to 14 months, but it depends on the backlog, right? Like I said, I've had clients receive theirs within 4 months. I've had someone actually receive theirs in less than 4 months. I've had other clients receive theirs in 6 months, and there are others whose are still pending for a year. So it all depends. It all depends. It all depends. Okay. Are there any more questions? It's 6 o'clock and we have to go. I have enjoyed my session. So I want to tell you a quick story before I leave, before I log out for the day. So on the morning of April 5th, 2018, federal agents swept in a meat processing plant in rural Tennessee with helicopters buzzing above the facility, and nearly 100 people were rounded up on buses and taken to detention centers, both in state and out of state, meaning that some were taken into detention centers in Tennessee and others were taken out of state, right? The painful thing is that they were not asked any question, whether they were US citizens or not, how long they had been working in the meat processing plant, how long they had been in the country, whether they had kids, whether they were single parents, whether they had kids waiting for them. And remember, it was in the morning, so most kids were either playing or they were in school, that is if they were students. That happened when President Trump was in power. There was a lady who was part of them. Her name is Nayeli. So Nayeli happened to be one of the few people that was released that evening and allowed to go home to see her 9-year-old son. And I want this to sit with you for a second, not even for a second, for a minute, that you go to work and then helicopters are buzzing, basically on the top or above the facility. Police officers raid the workplace, put you on buses, and then take you to detention centers. Meanwhile, maybe you left home and then you took your child to school thinking that you're going to return back from work to pick your child. But you find yourself in a detention center. And that is what President Trump did when he was in office. These 100 people who were detained all face deportation. So he intends to do that when he comes into office. So here's the thing. If you came on the border or through the border and you are undocumented, please be safe. It is not in anybody's place to tell you where to go, what to do, whom to hang with, or where to hang. But you really want to be informed so that you know exactly where to be at what point in time. Because the things he intends to do is scary. One of the things he wants to do is and I was having a conversation with my mom this morning about the fact that President Trump wants to end birthright citizenship, right? Because there are people that come into the country, they are not US citizens, they are not lawful permanent residents, they come give birth and their kids become US citizens. He's looking to end that. He's looking to empower police officers to the point that once they pull you over, they can request for of course, they will get your driver license, pull your immigration records if you are not documented, straight to detention and possibly face deportation. So please be safe. I understand the hassle when it comes to being an immigrant, the fact that you still have to work because some of you still have family back home. Whatever you do, make sure that you are safe. Make sure that you are making decisions from an informed place and make sure that you have your ears on the ground. Speak to attorneys, make sure that you're informed, make the best of decisions, and may whatever you believe in be with you. Whatever you serve, may that thing be with you so that you are not caught at the wrong place or even at the right place, but at the wrong time. So that will be all. I pray and hope that what happened to Nayeli does not happen to anyone here. And please feel free to give my office a call if you have any immigration needs at 703-705-9905. I would have loved to take all the questions, but we have exhausted our time. It's been an hour already. Please take care of yourselves. I know the hassle when it comes to being an immigrant. 1 minute you're in this state, the next minute you're in that state. I totally understand, but I don't want you to be like Nayeli. And so make sure you have emergency contacts. Make sure you let your friends know where you are at every point in time. If you have kids, make sure they are safe. Make sure that because you don't know what is going to happen, especially if you know you work in facilities that has lots of undocumented immigrants, please take care of yourselves. Please do take care of yourselves. It is scary, but like I said, no matter what President Trump decides to do, marriage-based green card will go nowhere. And so if you are single, please put yourself on the dating market. If you're in a relationship and you're a US citizen, please start talking about getting married, but make sure that your marriage is bona fide. Make sure that you can prove that you got into the marriage for the purpose of establishing life together. No matter what you do, make sure you're not caught. I don't know how you're going to do it, but make sure that you stay safe and make sure that you stay well. If you have kids, please, please, please let your friends know where they are at every point in time. And then depending on where you work, if you find yourself in a place where you know that the majority of the people are undocumented, an African or a minority can come to the United States, get a job running or a facility running, and then basically try to help other immigrants. That facility can be profiled, it can be raided, and you can be in trouble. So put your ears to the ground and please be safe out there. I don't want you to be like Nayela, who would go to work, be detained, and then have his 9-year-old son at the bus stop waiting for his mom. I wish you all the best. There's so many questions coming in, but we have to run. So someone is asking for the number again, is 703-705-9905. As to why Christians voted for Trump, and why many migrant preachers vouch for Trump to win. That's the conversation for another day. I cannot say much about it. There's so much I would love to say, but wisdom must be my brakes. So take care of yourselves, be safe. The number again is 703-705-9905. 703-705-9905. No matter what you do, please be safe. And marriage-based, hint, marriage-based green card is going nowhere. If anything else fails, marriage-based green card is there. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure that your marriage is bona fide. You have enough documents to prove that you're in a bona fide marriage. And please, if an immigration officer knocks at your door, you are not mandated to open the door. They are coming to investigate you. Tell them that I won't let you in. They cannot force you. If they do, you have a case against them. So, oh my God, Akosia Sika 703 705 9905. Namesake 703 705 9905. Are we good with the number? Are we good with the number, Akosia? I know you said it was so fast. But yeah, 703 705 9905. Please be safe, take care of yourselves, and make a decision from an informed place. And no matter what it is, marriage-based green card would always be there. Make sure that you enter into your marriages. Put yourself on the dating market, and then make sure that your marriage-based green card is good, and then your marriages are bona fide, and you intend to establish a life together, and you're good, and just stay out of trouble. I wish you a very, 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 Akosia Sika, thank you. I wish you a very good weekend. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch you next week, Friday. All the best, and have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. It's always fun to be here. Thank you.